I think we started off the presentation kind of focused on the speed of culture and essentially how platforms like Twitter and other social platforms can actually predict what cultural trends are going to look like before you start seeing them in the news. And the reason for that is because we just have billions and billions of signals every single day that tell us about our users. And more, we're starting to see a lot of brands take advantage of this and use it to calculate how to drive participation and earned reach among their users and among people that are just generally talking about topics that are interesting for this brand. And so from there, we talked about kind of 4 key pillars to design for participation. And I'll just go through them quick. First is if people are, and apologies because I wrote this right before I went in there, if people are talking, you should be listening. And the idea here is that platforms like Twitter, everyone is out there talking about your brand every day, whether you're on it or whether you're not. And they're talking about core interests that are relevant to your brand every single day, whether you're there or whether you're not. And it's just a huge opportunity to be able to take advantage of these conversations and flip them into stronger brand stories. Second one is the idea around thinking niche versus thinking mass. When you're trying to design for participation, finding those core passion points that people are going to be interested about. Don't try to send a message to absolutely everyone. It's going to be too bland. Find a message that's going to resonate with a core group of passionate users. The next one is communication beats consumption when you're designing for participation. And really the idea here is don't just stick a video in front of people and expect them to watch it and then talk about your brand. It doesn't really work that well. Now more and more of the best brands in the world are actually re-engineering some of those visuals, those videos, those images to design for participation on platforms like Twitter and others. And when we think about how to create communication versus consumption, we can think about it in these 3 key buckets. The first is going to be identity-based content. The second is going to be emotion-based content. And the third, information-based content. So identity-based content is kind of just really telling people, hey, I know you and I know who you are, I get you as a consumer. Talking with them versus talking at them. Emotion-based content, it's content people are going to share because they care about it. You're pulling at the empathy, you're pulling at the heartstrings of what users are interested in, why they come to platforms like Twitter. And the last one, information-based content. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I was right. Information-based content is the type of content where you're telling people things they didn't know already, giving them a piece of information they didn't know and they're more likely to share it. And so the last piece, I had 4, the last piece was leveraging formats that help design for participation. So platforms like Twitter and many others now are creating active formats for both video, images, or without, that are created intentionally just to design for participation. Twitter now has like a video poll card in which users can interact with a piece of content and give their opinion in real time without actually needing to go out and tweet. So those are kind of the 4 key areas if you're looking to design for participation.